Today I figured I'd do a thorough post trip. Well, I do that every day, but I shut down early today because I made really good time this morning. I started at like 3 in the morning, so there's plenty of daylight, and I might not get daylight in the next couple of weeks or so figured I'd just go ahead and record this. Got my hazards and lights on. Oh, I bought a new butterfly knife today. It's pretty tight. It's like iridescent, but I need this to keep the lot lizards at bay. I'm joking. I don't think the whole time I've been chucking my 1 and 3 months, I've only seen like 1 lot lizard. Okay. Open. The usual. Permit books. Alright, so it began. And, oh yeah, this placard ended up coming off again. And then this one was gone, so I had to get more placards. But on this one, as you can tell, that number 2 is, just rigged. It's not a real 2. I had to work with what I had, used my butterfly knife to cut I think a 9 and a 7, and it's just, I don't know, it's ridiculous. But it's the only thing I have for now. And so here we got the hydro pack. This thing's pretty cool. It runs off a PTO, and it can run the pump, the hydraulic pump. It can also do an air compressor, and then up at the top somewhere over there where those valves are at, it can hook up lines over here to run the radiator fluid from the truck to the entire trailer to heat it up to like 170 degrees. It's pretty cool stuff. Let me get some close. This helmet, people look at me like I'm retarded. We'll just take a look at it, okay? Alright, checking for leaks in the exhaust. That looks good. The belt is nice and tight. I don't really have to hit that. I don't see anything, no leaks or anything. Looks like I'm in a pothole. That's lovely. These are nice and tight and they don't wiggle. And you can see my brake shoes are nice and fat. Tires, really good tread. I need to tighten my belt. Alrighty then. That's this side. That looks good. This thing's got a little bit too much play in it. I don't really care for it. These things are old and brittle. Let's check the oil. What's you in there? Something. Oh yeah. It's supposed to look that way, but next time I'm at a service center, I'll have them check it to see if it's above a certain parts per whatever. That looks kind of strange. Like it's kind of getting worn down. It's tight now. Brake shoes. I feel like my suspension shot, but I don't know for sure. I really have no way of testing that. Thread looks good. Alright. I think that's enough for the engine compartment. It's nice and tight. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get up on the top of this trailer and make sure all the connections are nice and tight and secure. Don't laugh at me. I have to do this every single day. I got eye protection as well, so I'm not gonna wear the goggles. Alright, got my trusty mallet. Just checking the lights and stuff. Whack away at these. These are super singles. They kind of look like drag racing tires. They pivot really good so you can turn around curves easy, but one thing I hate about them is they're so fat that if they get, a little bit low air, they could just pop right off the rim because they're just so fat. Make sure that's engaged. Sometimes, like, lot lizards have been known to pull these when you're sleeping, so that when you wake up in the morning and you take off, and then bam, you drop your trailer. The best way to prevent that from ever happening is do a tug test in your truck. Airlines, look good, secure. Emergency shutoff valve, it's not broken. This, if there's ever an emergency and you see this, you just break that thing off and it'll stop the tank from doing what it's doing. Like if there's a fire or something. Make sure this is nice and legible. I wonder how many PSI this thing is. It's 45, so it's gonna have, solid caps. I'll go under here, take a look, see the locking jaw. It's all lights look good. Then the main thing I'm looking for here is leaks. Do not want a single drop. If you have a single drop, being that this is a hazmat, I'd have to call a hazmat number and have an emergency response team come out here and I can actually see the brake shoes from this side. They look good. I do that just to make things somewhat easier. Make sure this is in the closed position. This is the vapor recovery line. Say I'm pumping out this chemical. There could be vapor that we don't want, in the atmosphere or whatever. So this will go to the factory, clean the vapor to make it, you know, non-toxic or whatever. Man, this thing sure is dented up. And no, I didn't do that. All Schneider tanks are just like mangled. I checked this last night. This is still, but why didn't I make sure this is tight? I usually do that. I want it real tight so that nobody can tamper with it. Make sure these are tight. Close on this. So basically, to get fluid out of this thing, you'd have to like jack this up. Make sure it's okay. We're good. So this is in the open position, but say I wanted to open the internal valve, I would turn this and then start jacking it, but I'm not gonna do that. Otherwise fluid would get inside here. And so you basically have two valves. You have internal and external, and then you have to open both of them to get the fluid to come out down there. And you can tell the internal's closed when that piston looking thing right there is down. When you jack this thing up, that piston will go all the way up, and that means it's open. Lights look good. Nothing wrong with cleaning them. Wait a second. Oh yeah, it's good. Sure is dim. Okay. They're whacking away at them tires. Also looking at brake pads. Making sure brake pads look good on this side. Looking for any leaks. I don't see a single one. Now for the fun part, we'll go upstairs. Just gonna throw my hammer up there. That works. I'm gonna put this in the pocket for now as I climb up there. Exactly. Maintain 3 points of contact on this tail lighter. In the pocket you go. Up we go. Okie dokie. Up here, basically you got this manhole. This is where they could put the fluid in and liquids. That's like a pressure release valve. That's a washout cap. Another pressure releaser. Make sure these are in the closed position. If they're going perpendicular with the line, they're closed. If they're parallel, then they're open. So we want to make sure all this is nice and tight. Take the hammer and one kind of. These will loosen up on you. Alright, those are nice and tight. Next we'll go these washout caps. Timber. Back down we go. I'm satisfied with everything up here. Just do not want my phone, my expensive $1,000 phone, to fall out. That would really suck. Okie dokie. So then, next I want to, well, it's a pretty rough looking gouge in there. Look at that. It's hard to see with the camera, but man, it's pretty rough. You have to keep an eye on this tire. Check all that. So next I'm going to run this pump, because every night it'll build up water condensation in there, and our company policy is to run it once a day to clean out that water. Otherwise it'll, rust up. So yeah. Oh, let me explain some things real quick. You have your hoses, you have your tank, and your valves in the back. You can do an air off or a pump off. An air off involves hooking this air line up to this guy and then releasing the valve, and you basically just push air through this tube. It goes all the way down, it goes up, and it turns the whole tank into like an aerosol can, and that's called an air off, and it's like pretty fast, faster than pumping. And then, but some things you can't air off, like flammable stuff, like this dude's flammable. Can't air that off because our pumps, this gets too hot to where it could like ignite, flammable stuff. So for that, you'd run your pump or probably do gravity. Alright, trying to think of what else to say, but I think I covered the gist of it. In here we're going to use this guy. It's called a drumming nozzle. I already got the adapter to it. With this, we're gonna just hook it up to the pump, and when the pump's running, we're gonna like get rid of that moisture by this is the input and then this is the output. Don't need my, it's always good to have a mallet. So now to get her running, to get the hydro pack running, I gotta start the truck and flip a switch. Wait a second, that's leaking. That hose is definitely suspicious looking. I don't see where it's leaking at though. And I don't think it's rain, because rain would have dried up by now. Let's check the fluid level in this thing. This one's different from the one I trained on. I have a lot to learn. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and purge this pump of any moisture. Alrighty. So I start her up. I'd go ahead and turn the lights and shit off. Already re-trip those. Post-trip, I mean. Now then we push the brake, put the truck in drive, but we don't go anywhere. And then this switch down here, the PTO, we hit it and then switch it back to neutral. I don't know if you can see it. Switch it back to neutral, and then the truck will gradually build up RPM to get the PTO working. So now, on this, I'm just gonna run it. You could tell this is working. You'll see me like put the cap in to see if it sucks it. And this one will push the cap out. You push this down for the pump, and then up and out for the air compressor. Now the pump's on. These guys up. So I'm going to rev it up and we'll see how it sucks it. And then after that, I'm going to plug this in and basically just run it hard. Well, actually, I'll go ahead and do that now. Now this will speed it up. I think I got all the moisture out of it last night. It is pretty bone dry now. That's exactly what you want. Normally it has water coming out, but that's fucking bone dry. It's still good to check it though. I leave you in the upper position. Yeah, it's bone dry. Alrighty. Next we'll do the air compressor. It's pretty easy. We go all the way up and that's it. Okay. Now we'll turn the PTO off. this stupid helmet and all this. Try not to forget anything in there. Things coming. I just realized that even though it's like 3 in the afternoon, I realized that running that air compressor, this, truck stop's not really cool. Because there's like people sleeping all times of the day. But you know what? I figured it needed to be done. It's company policy. So, I don't know. And a lot of these trucks are well insulated to where you don't really hear much when you got all the doors shut and stuff. But yeah, that pretty much concludes push trip. So how long did it take us to do all that? About 30, can't see because it's not gonna focus. It says about 31 minutes though. So now I'm going to off duty and in my shift because I only got 1 hour of driving left, and it's kind of like there's not going to be any places I can shut down within an hour's reach from here. This Flying J is really my only option at this particular location. So sometimes you have to do what you got to do. And it's always good to shut down an hour in advance because you never know. You might not be able to find parking spots. Hold on. This is so annoying. Come on, work. Gotta do add activities and 10-hour break and then save it. Takes a million years. Okay. So after 10 hours, I'll get my 11 hours back to drive to Sugar Land, Texas tomorrow to deliver these pool chemicals. For any trucker, I highly recommend a dash cam. Buy your own. That way, when you go to court, you can protect your ass when idiots run into you. I've had a lot of close calls today. Mainly in Memphis and Nashville. Just erratic drivers cutting me off and all kinds of shit. All it would take is for one of them to just brake check you and then you kill them, and then they're like, they could screw you. But if you have camera footage that shows what the little assholes did, then you shouldn't have anything to worry about. You gotta protect yourself. Might as well show off my lovely home. Let's get some lights on in here. This is basically where I sleep every day. Let there be lights. So this is another bed that can fold out and goes on top of these things, but really wouldn't give me much room at all. The thing I like about Schneider is this is a memory foam mattress. They didn't give us this blanket or this sheet, but this mattress, it's really nice to sleep on. It's pretty good. Got Screaming Meanie. That thing's really good if you need to wake up and like 3 in the morning and it's hard to get up. Oops. Crack this open. In here, let's take a quick gander in this guy. And here's a PPE bag. This is for hazmat. It's basically a green plasticky suit, and of course you wear the helmet. And this suit, this brown one, it's just a jumpsuit, and it's like fireproof. Wait, I don't know about fireproof. Fire retardant maybe. And this is a respirator inside here. And of course, you always got to have tons of gloves. And safety goggles are somewhere in there. All kinds of cool stuff. I can't wait to try these things out. These are like for ice. You put them on your boots. They just strap on your boots, and apparently you can walk on ice with those. Can't wait to try those this upcoming winter.